The Pharmacy Guild of Australia has warned there is a shortage of pharmacists in regional parts of the country as the industry struggles to recruit and maintain permanent staff because candidates are less willing to move to the bush. In Australia, pharmacies can't legally open without a qualified pharmacist on site. Pharmacy recruiter Sue Muller joins me now to discuss this. Sue, thanks for joining us today.
It's a pleasure.
How would you describe the current shortage that we're seeing across the country?
Well, basically, I've been in this industry for over 30 years, 32 years to be exact, and I'm a pharmacist myself, and I've never seen it as bad as it is at the moment.
So what is it that's so difficult about recruiting pharmacists to these regional areas?
Well, it's a multi-tiered problem. If the pharmacist is single and footloose and fancy-free, they don't want to relocate to a small country town where there's, none of the fun things that they enjoy doing. And if a pharmacist is married, they may have a partner in the city who has a job or children at school and they don't want to move them. So it's really difficult.
So presumably this problem existed 30 years ago when you started recruiting. Those ideas of being young and staying in a vibrant city existed back then. So why is this happening now, do you think? Why is it more dire now?
Well, there are a number of reasons. Firstly, pharmacy doesn't offer the same, or it has a reputation of not offering the same remuneration as other professions. So when pharmacists finish university, they see that after 5 years, their friends are making a lot more money than they are. So they end up using pharmacy as an undergraduate degree and going on to study other things. Then there's also the fact that pharmacists just, they've changed the way, the concept of what pharmacy is like. They're trying to get it back to the profession rather than just a glorified shopkeeper.
Is part of the problem also that hospitals are luring first-year pharmacists to their bases rather because they're paying better?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know whether it's just the pay with hospital pharmacy. It's also, I think, the pharmacists coming through feel that they've learnt so much, they've had so much clinical knowledge that they think that they'll use it a lot more in hospitals, where in actual fact they could be using their clinical knowledge to the same degree in community pharmacy.
What are the ramifications for these communities if they don't have access to a pharmacist?
Well, the problem that I see is that it's really challenging to find a permanent pharmacist to go to a rural area. So these pharmacies contact us, and because it's taking a lot longer, if we can find somebody, we offer to solve the problem by providing them with locums, with short-term pharmacists. Everybody's happy to go short term. They have their accommodation paid for, they get their travel costs funded, and in fact the government has a service which we manage, which is a rural emergency service. So if there's an emergency in a rural part of Australia, we guarantee an emergency locum to that site within 24 hours so that community isn't without a pharmacist.
That no doubt comes at great cost to the pharmacy owner, though.
Well, no, because the federal government funds the cost of getting the locum from wherever they are in Australia to where the emergency is, up to a value of $2,500. And the government also funds our fee as a recruiter for that. So all the pharmacy has to do is pay a somewhat inflated hourly rate because these people are prepared to drop everything and run, and they need to provide them with accommodation, and they can only keep them for a maximum of 7 days.
Okay, so just finally before we go on, very briefly, what are the possible solutions? I was reading one could lie with universities to incentivise those students to go bush when they leave.
Absolutely. Well, we actually have just established a relationship with NAPSA, which is the national Australian pharmacy student body to provide scholarships to 5 students during their time to go out to the bush and do their rural placements. So we hope that this will somewhat alleviate the problem.
We will watch and wait. Sumala, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.